What's up, everybody? This is Jeremy, bringing you guys my first MOAB gameplay. Um, it's actually not even something I was going for at the time. I was kind of pissed off and annoyed. I'd gotten really bad teammates multiple games in a row. You'll see it here in a few minutes. I actually knifed a guy because he's just standing there not even playing. Um, so yeah, it was definitely not something I was even going for at the time. I was just kind of annoyed and happened to go on a rampage and just tear through everybody. I didn't even realize I was near getting a MOAB. I wasn't even thinking anything at all about a MOAB at the time, which I guess I had an assault kill streak on, and I guess after 3 or whatever attack helicopters in a row, I probably should have realized I was close, but basically it was just me pissed off running around with the Akimbo Scorpions and the PP90 M1. And yeah, I just kind of pulled it off on accident. So it's definitely not the way I would recommend going for the MOAB, but yeah, I guess it worked out in this case. So that's all I really want to say about that as far as gameplay. But I gave on Black Ops a little bit of a tips video on Domination. It wasn't very good because it was kind of, I don't know, it wasn't very specific. Oh, and another thing I want to say real quick before I forget, this was recorded in theater mode because my computer crapped down on me in the middle of recording this, so I had to go back in theater mode, so it's in 2 parts because of host migration and stuff, and some of the stuff, it's really far off from how it actually looked. I noticed there was one part on here where it looks like I completely just sprayed somebody down, but, so yeah, just keep that in mind too. But I wanted to make a more detailed game on walkthrough or tips or whatever on how to play Domination and be successful as far as kills and points and winning games and all that. So these tips are in no particular order or anything like that, but first is if you have, just say A and B, I'll use A and B for my examples for all these. If you have A and B and you've got the team spawn trapped in C, what you're going to want to do is you want to throw concussion grenades, flashbangs, whatever, as far back into their spawn as you can, because what that's going to do is that's going to keep them defensive. That's going to have them thinking that you're in their spawn, and they're not going to rush out, and the less that they rush out, the easier they are to spawn trap. Spawn trapping is definitely what you want to do if you get 2 flags instead. You don't want to go for 3 flags. You basically want to get 2 and spawn trap unless you're down by a lot. So yeah, you're going to want to just throw those in there, keeps them thinking that you're in their spawn, and they're going to slow down, they're going to, not rush out of their spawn as quickly, and it's going to allow you to spawn trap them that much easier. So, that's my first tip. Like I said, you only want to capture 2 flags unless you're down by a lot. So capture 2, and have one person, preferably with the submachine gun, that's pretty skilled and knows how to get in and out of spawns without changing the spawns up. Have them just occasionally rush through the spawn. Like I said, that'll make them think that there's people coming through their spawn, and it's going to slow them down again, so that's just another good idea to do. The third one is, like I said, you only want to capture all 3 flags if you're down so many points that you can't win by holding 2. And or if you have a full party, or at least, I would say very minimum 4 guys playing together that communicate really well together. And even then, you need to be playing somebody that's not too good or doesn't communicate at all to be able to hold all 3 for a while. So, just because the reason for that is that if you capture all 3, typically what it's going to do is it's going to change the spawns up, and it's going to start putting the other team all over the place. And if you screw around like that too long, they're going to normally capture all 3 flags from you because your spawns are going to get so messed up. They're going to capture at least 2, usually 3, for at least a couple minutes. So, yeah, definitely want to avoid capturing all 3 flags when possible. But, my 4th tip, sorry, I have a cold. Use a submachine gun in Domination, because you're going to need to be rushing to these flags, and submachine guns are definitely the fastest way to get around the game. And if you don't use a submachine gun, you're going to want to use like an assault rifle. Probably want to avoid, I don't know, snipers for the most part, unless you've, got a long line of sight that you can kind of keep them away. Light machine gun, you're really slow with those, so you want to avoid pretty much everything but submachine guns unless you use tac inserts, and then it's okay to not use a submachine gun. But like I said, that's generally all I use in Domination is submachine gun. And my fifth tip, and this is a really big one, is say you're holding A and B and the other team captures B. B is, on most maps, if not all, the toughest one to hold and the toughest one to get back because it's the one that people hang out at, and it's the one that typically I stay at because if we have A and they capture it, typically we can go capture it right back or capture C, no big deal. B is the one I usually defend because it's so hard to get back. But the best time to get B if somebody takes it from you is immediately after they take it, because typically what they'll do is they'll rush 2 or 3 guys at most. You kill those 2 or 3 guys, your team is all rushing to B to try to keep them away. So if they've capped it and you kill those 2 to 3, you and the other people that were rushing it with you can typically get it straight back, like 5 seconds after it's capped from you. So if you can do that, that's definitely the best time to do it, because otherwise it's just going to be a complete pain in the ass to try to get back, and it's definitely not fun at all to try to get back. So yeah, you're going to want to cap, especially B, but I mean all flags, I guess, but definitely B as soon as it's capped from you if you can kill the guy that got it. Now, even if your team has no mics and you're just playing with people that aren't talking or anything like that, you're still going to want to call stuff out to them. You're going to want to call, like, you know, gamer tag 500 or dickface 3000, whatever their gamer tag is. You know, there's a guy around this corner from you, or you know, you lay on the flag and I will keep people away, or you watch this corner and I'll watch this corner, or just whatever. I mean, you're going to want to call stuff out to people, and typically they're going to listen to you even if they're not talking back or anything. So, I mean, you can pretty much tell them, you know, hey, go do this, go do that. And, I mean, as long as you do it in, like, a respectful way, you know, they're usually going to listen to you. I mean, of course, you're going to occasionally get the team full of idiots that just don't have a damn clue what they're doing no matter what you tell them. So, I mean, you're going to have that. But for the most part, I found that I've taken teams of random people and gotten them to play actually pretty well together just by giving them, you know, not really commands, I guess, but telling them what we need to do and asking for help, or telling them that you'll help them if they do this or that or whatever. So it's definitely a helpful tip. And you're going to want to split up if you've got 2 flags. Like I said, A and B is what we're going to say. Say you've got A and B, you're going to want to put 2 people at B. You're going to want to keep 1 person back at A just in case they somehow flank around. And then you want, typically all maps have 3 ways to get around, main ways. And then you're going to want your 3 best players guarding those 3 choke points. And that's the absolute best way to spawn trap. And you see right here on the game, I lay down on the opposite side of this dumpster from where the strafe run's coming from. And if you do that, they won't even shoot at you. Like, I've never even been hit when I've laid against a wall like this. So that's another good tip, just in general for the game. Oh man, sorry. And this is another big tip, which people tend to not comprehend, and this is a big one. You cannot win most maps by holding A and C. There are a few, but for the most part, you cannot hold A and C and win. So if you have A, you can grab C to get their attention away from B, but generally it's not that good of an idea. But I got this MOAB so late that I don't even get the kills for it because the game ends. So it actually looks like a game-winning nuke for Modern Warfare 2, so it's kind of cool even though I didn't get the kills. I think I went 39-4, probably should have been, I think, like 45-4 if I would have gotten the kills or whatever. But it was fun gameplay. Like I said, it was just a complete accident, but I got my first MOAB gameplay for you guys. So hope you enjoyed it and hope you liked the tips that I gave. Comment, rate, subscribe, and I will be back soon. Thanks. Later.